wanted to be a part of it. They bypassed Congress. They put Congress aside while Congress was arguing about a new national system, something similar to No Child Left Behind. Put Congress away and came directly to the states and told them.
So this was done on the order of the president, or?
This was done by the president and by Arne Duncan. They told the states, they went to the states, in other words, they didn't go to the Congress, they went to the states, and they thought to themselves, well, if we go to the states directly, there's nothing that Congress can do about it.
So this was not approved by Congress?
This was never approved by Congress. It didn't even go into Congress, which is what's shocking. That's the part that shocks me the most. It never went into legislation. It just went to the governors of the state. Now, wait a minute. The governor has no authority on education at a state level, and yet that's how they instilled Common Core in every state. They went to these governors, they made the plans, they made the accommodations, they signed the waivers that Arne Duncan had put out, and they basically handed over education to the federal government, which, by the way, is illegal, because education belongs at a state level.
Did the state legislature pass on this?
That's, again, not only does this break legislation at a federal level, but it never went into legislation at a state level, which is incredible. And it's shocking, because legislation here in Utah did not write any Common Core. What happened was they bypassed it, and they involved the State Board of Education. They brought them in so that they could get this curriculum, this national curriculum, inside of Utah, inside of all the states that I've been researching, without any legislative approval. In other words, once you understand this information, it's shocking as an American, because we understand that this is not only taking over education, but it is an usurping of the government. It is a secret plan to overtake the system that we believe and trust in. In other words, what our founding fathers put forth. They said that if we want to create laws, those laws are the right of legislation. We should go to Congress and the House of Representatives, and that's how we approve our laws, through that process. This administration and this president have gone beyond that. They started with Common Core, but they wanted to go further. They did the exact same thing. They used the same template of Common Core to take over what is Obamacare, or Abomination Care. What they did was the exact same process. First, they passed a quick bill through legislation, just like No Child Left Behind. Once that law imploded in on itself, they came in and showed us some waivers for Obamacare. And once those waivers were signed, they were free to alter Obamacare any which way they wanted to. And that's exactly what they did, Lane. They took those original Obamacare laws, rewrote them without the use of legislation at all, and what we have today is exactly similar to Common Core, a complete takeover of Congress. In other words, bypass, because we don't use Congress, we make and create our own law, our own Obamacare, and we give that to the American public. That is not the American way that I know of, and that's why I'm on my mission to explain this to parents.
What needs to be done about it?
What needs to be done right now is we need to become aware. First, get out there and do your research. Don't believe me because I'm telling you, because I've done this research for the past 7 years. Pick up my book, pick up other books, and go to the websites. Go to Common Core, the website of the government, and see what they have to say about their own Common Core. Because in their website, they say that this is not a Common Core that's just built for the United States. No, rather, this is to mimic a European system. Well, wait a minute. Aren't we Americans?
Does it say that right in the
It says right in the website, and that's what's shocking about it. In my book, I give...
What is the website?
The website for the Common Core is you go to the government, you go into the government website, the federal website, and you click on Common Core, which they have a link there, and I have the link directly in my book and all the links.
Tell us how people can get your book if they wanted it.
My book's available at Barnes & Noble. You could just walk in right the door and ask
What's the name of it again?
If It's Broken, Don't Fix It. And it's under Mr. Noriega. If you want to get it on Amazon, you just type in Mr. Noriega and download it for a menial price. But what's important, what we need to do now is 3 steps. First, we need to become aware of what's happening. We need to understand what's happening in the classroom and at a national level, this takeover of our government and our rights. Number 2, we need to be able to express those to other people, to express our concerns and say, hey, we're not going to go for that. Number 3, we need to approach our leaders and tell them, we have elected you, you haven't elected us. We're not going to go for you coming in and stealing our rights. And if you can't defend our rights at a state level, then we're going to elect somebody else. Right now is a new time in history. This is just like the time when the Founding Fathers created the Constitution of the United States, because right now is the second period of the United States, the saving of our Constitution. This is where we're at right now.
I understand they're looking for a new superintendent of public instruction for the state of Utah.
They are.
Have they got any candidates?
Well, this is no surprise.
If I ask one of the candidates, or what would they say about it? Do they support it or not support it?
Well, this is the surprise, is the federal government, everybody that's getting involved and getting pushed into these places has to be Common Core pro. The government is making sure that even in our School Board of Education, the test itself, when you go into the School Board of Education, the first question that you have to answer is, do you support Common Core? That's question.
Who is this?
This is the School Board of Education in the state.
State Board of Education.
State Board of Education. So in order to get
to be appointed to that, you have to support Common Core?
Rule number 1, question number 1 is, do you support Common Core? If you don't, you're out. And so the federal government
who makes that decision?
The federal government. And so the federal...
They make the decision on who gets in the State Board of Education?
Well, they have their hands involved in our decisions, and the people that are appointed in our state, the governor, the superintendents, the State Board of Education, all of these people have been already either manipulated or deals have been made with them where they are now seeking people that are pro-Common Core. Somebody that's against Common Core like myself would never be able to get into the School Board of Education. That would be something that will not happen. You have to be somebody that's pro in these days. And so the new superintendent, you can believe my words, is going to be somebody that is pro Common Core and certainly does not look at this. But that's where our opportunity comes in, Lane, is because if we become educated before this happens, we have a voice. We are the people. They do not control us. They should work for us. And so if we are aware of these things, if we are aware of what's happening in the classroom and the kind of curriculum that's being taught, we can tell our elected officials and we can say, we're not going to vote for you, or we're going to vote for somebody else, or we're going to take you out of office. That's what needs to happen right now. But it starts with the education of the public, because all the public, 90% of the public, has no idea what even Common Core is. And so if they don't know what Common Core is, how can you fight it? How can we fight it?
We've got 30 seconds left. What's your final word?
My final word is education. Education is the way that this nation will once again become the most free, the most powerful, the most beautiful nation on the planet. Let yourself become aware of what's happening. That's exactly what I'm doing. I have a website called repealthecommoncore.com. You can contact me there. I can do whatever it takes. I can come to your group and speak. Look at my book. Look at other books. But do something now, because if we fight and lose, at least we tried. But if we don't fight, will we be able to live with ourselves, Lane?
Well, Sinaway Noriega, Mr. Noriega, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us on A Story to Tell from the campus of Dixie State University. This is Lane Rano. Thank you.